What is good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Big Boy Talk with your host, Big Reg. How y'all doing out there? I hope all is well. We here for another Friday night. Good times, good fun. So I'm gonna try not to keep y'all too long tonight. I'm gonna be honest. I'm drawn. All right, I'm gonna get right into it. First thing we're gonna talk about because it's what I'm drawn into right now is these NBA playoffs. Okay. Um, Take a moment if you're here. When you watch it on playback, if you're here live, make sure you hit that like button, you share, you subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend, bring them back on around again. We're gonna have a good time, y'all. So right now, it's end of the third quarter, and my Orlando Magic are down. And we need this game. We need this game to push a game 7 or we going home. Dre, what's good, Dre? My boy Dre Ski in the building. What's good, fam? So let's talk about these NBA playoffs. As I said, right now we got Orlando Magic versus Cleveland Cavaliers. Game 6. Cleveland's up 3-2. So this is a closeout game for them. But I need my boys to come through. Let's go, Orlando. Now, thus far in the playoffs, the Celtics have advanced as they beat the Miami Heat 4-1. The Pacers have advanced. They beat the Bucks 4-2. The New York Knicks beat the Sixers 4-2. And that is it for the East because obviously my Orlando and Cleveland are playing now. So we're waiting for the winner of that to see who moves on. It will be Pacers versus Knicks next round. So the winner of this series goes on to face the Boston Celtics. Should be an interesting series. I think both of these teams can match up well against the Celtics. It's going to be a very competitive series. It's going to be a bunch of dogs out there. It's going to be a bunch of dogs out there fighting. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Let's go Orlando. Let's try to pull it out. In the West, we had the Thunder versus Pelicans. Thunder swept them. Yes, it is. I agree 100%. It's definitely going to flame. It's definitely going to flame. And we got the hip-hop legend, Mr. Galloway, in here. How you doing, sir? If y'all don't know, please go check this man out. Great content every Tuesday night, right? Him and the Rogue Pod, my boy Hendo, they do a hip-hop stream. And not only that, Mr. Galloway's got an album out on all streaming platforms. If you want to drop the name of the album in the chat, please do so. It's fire. All right, go check my boy out. I appreciate you too, sir. You already know. D Weezy in the building. Backyard Action Media. All your betting advice, make sure it comes through this man. It's the only way you're gonna win. All right. Make sure it runs through him. So in the West, we're looking at the Timberwolves swept the Suns, which it was a little bit shocking for me. I said defensively the Suns were going to struggle. When me and my co-hosts were going over this, I said that the Suns were going to struggle because one team played defense, the other didn't. So when you factor that in, that one team plays D and the other one can't, and they both can score, well, that's what you got. You got a sweep. Literary revenge. Listen, go get it. Go get it now. And we're going to talk a little hip-hop later on. Y'all already know what it's about. So we're going to talk a little hip-hop later on. All right, we had the Clippers and Mavs. They still got a game to play tonight at 9:30. All right, game 6. Dallas leads that series 3-2. And the Nuggets swept the Lakers. So the Nuggets, T-Wolves next round, which is what my boy Dre was talking about, is going to be a crazy series. I can't wait to the NBA is getting to a point that's different right now. We're looking at LeBron, KD, Steph, Giannis. All these boys are out of the playoffs this year. They're out. They're home. Right? Steph didn't even make the playoffs this year. We are seeing a change of the guard in the NBA. And who's leading the way now for the Young Bucks? I mean, we still got Donovan Mitchell. You know what I'm saying? We got Anthony Edwards. We got some young bucks out there that can ball. The NBA is getting interesting again, and it seems to be more up for grabs now than it was in any other year in the past maybe 5-6 years, even longer actually. Okay, okay, see you. I think so too. I honestly think so too. And it's hard not to have it be him because he's always throwing down the nasty dunks. He can score on the perimeter. He plays defense. He's I think he's what you want to be the face of the NBA. He's not in trouble off the court. You know what I mean? He's getting people love me. He's exciting. His play style is exciting. He's one of those guys you want to be the face of the league. And you can see like with guys going away, I mean, I think the Lakers are going to get LeBron back because I think they're going to go out and draft his son. I think they're going to go get Bronny, and if they do, they'll get LeBron back. But Anthony Davis is fragile, to say the least. So the Lakers are going to have to look somewhere else for another star to help them up because there's no way LeBron should be carrying that team. But that's the point I want to get towards. The way Ant plays, he reminds me when he's driving to the basket, he reminds me of a guy built something like LeBron. Not he doesn't remind me of LeBron entirely, but he's built like that. He goes to the basket very strong. He's got leaping ability through the roof. I love him. I love De'Aaron Fox from the Kings. That's another one. Dude's still the fastest player in the league. It's like watching lightning run across the court. It's crazy. But he's a phenomenal player. These are phenomenal young players. And it's going to be amazing to watch them play. But it's also going to be interesting to see which ones choose to team up and get together and make super teams, right? Because super teams, we know that's a thing in the league. So who's going to team up to make a super team? And I don't know who's going to be free agent. I didn't do my research on that quite yet. That's something I'll talk about after the playoffs. But whatever superstar ends up a free agent, please come make your way over to Orlando. All right, come join Paolo. Let's win a couple championships because you see this young team over here. So let's get a young star, win a couple championships. Either that, or we could go out and draft somebody from UConn because that's all the same to me. UConn, we used to win the chips in the men's UConn team. So bring that championship success to Orlando. We draft a few of those guys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Darvin. So Darvin Ham, I don't know why you hate to say it. It's facts. Darvin Ham, and I think Brodney said this before. Brodney from LBHT. He is not really coaching the team. Like he's not a good coach. Okay, a lot of these guys get by when they have a player like LeBron on the team because LeBron's like, hey, give me these guys on the court. Let's run this. We're going to run this through me or we're going to run this through so-and-so, So you don't have to coach up the team as much as you do if say, you got a team like Orlando with a bunch of young guys, right? That's a proven head coach. That's a head coach that turned the team around. Whereas if you go with Darvin, he had a superstar. He had two of them with Anthony Davis. And that, I don't know, Anthony Davis's star level might drop down to just star instead of superstar because sorry, I had to pause real quick. I'm looking at the game. I told you I'm drawing. Sorry if I get a little distracted. My boys is in a big one right now. Okay? Yes, Doc Rivers is another one. Doc is another one where the players on his team carry him and make him look like a better coach than he is. And he survived in the league off of that. That man's been around for so long, and he's not winning championships. But his superstars are making him look good enough that he looks like a championship contending coach, right? So he's one of those. He's in the NFL. That would be our comparison of a John Harbaugh or a Jeff Fisher, guys like that who their teams are getting to the playoffs, so they look good, but they're not necessarily doing good coaching, right? So just to update y'all on the game, it is 78-77. Cleveland up with 10:28 left in the game. All right. So it's gonna be a tight finish. And I just hope that blue team end up on top. Let's go. Pause. That was wild. Let's go. Yeah. 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 A good coach, too. A good coach who had a defensive mentality, which is very rare. Thibodeau had a defensive mentality. They had good coaching there, and he got out of there, and that was a bad call. I don't know. Let's go. I don't know if it's gonna be a meltdown, Jay. Y'all do me a favor, go sub to my boy J.6. All right. NBA content, NFL content, talks about worldly news, a little bit of everything. Oh, and the Sneaker King, by the way. I don't know if we're gonna call it a meltdown because my boy's been playing the Cavs very well. Right? They have trouble with our size, and we're a darn good defensive team. It's just we seem to struggle with the speed of their star players. But if we can get in the half court set, their defense is phenomenal. It's one of the best in the league. So let's go Orlando. Let's keep doing this. 79-78, 9:50 left in the game. We're on defense. Come on. Offensive foul. Thank you. I kind of still don't like how Mark Jackson never got another chance after helping put the Warriors team together. That's another one of those things. It's hard to judge how good of a coach he was because yes, he was in the middle of building the team, but he didn't actually coach the team up to winning record, like to playoff potential, like Kerr did. And I think that's one team that had a lot of good players. It's hard to judge Steve Kerr too, right? You had a lot of good players. Their GM did a phenomenal job drafting and putting the team together. But does the coach have as much going as just, hey, I got superstars that light it up? I think in Steve Kerr's case, it's an interesting one because I think he's a good coach. Steve Kerr, and that's based off the young guys and what the young guys do on that team. Not Steph. I'm talking about the other guys that come in and step up and make plays for him. Not just Steph, not Clay, or Klay Thompson, based off his last 0-point game. So based off of that, I say Steve Kerr is a pretty good coach. So yes, Mark Jackson deserved another chance, but how long is it going to take him to build a team to be competitive? Like the coach for Orlando, he's only been there for like 2 years now, maybe 3. And he's already built the team up. He flipped them from what they was to a playoff team in 3 years. D. Weezy says Steve Clifford put a lot of pieces in place in Orlando. I'm interested to see what he does in the front office for Charlotte. He did. But again, while the pieces were there, they weren't clicking properly. And coaching got them clicking properly now. And that's why I think this team became so competitive over the last 2 years now. Like that's how we go from they were nowhere near the playoffs to they just missed the playoffs and now we're in it. That's a quick turnaround for an NBA team. Quick turnaround. Definitely is. I think Kerr is an amazing coach, but he came into a really good situation. Yeah, he did. He definitely did. And I think Kerr's one of those players that was smart when he was in the league too. And you've seen it when he was in the league. That he was a good player, but he was also a smart player. So that's why I think Kerr's one of those guys out there that's a really good head coach as well. Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. So that's our NBA talk. Well, I'll keep coming back to it. I'll keep going through it, but I do want to get through all of these subjects without keeping you guys on here way too long tonight, right? So let's go ahead and get to the painful part. The painful part of the conversation, the NFL draft and the Baltimore Ravens. Listen, I don't. I immediately look at this draft, and a lot of people saw I was upset about the pick of Nate Wiggins as a first round pick for the Ravens. And it's not so much the player that was the problem for me. It was where we drafted him at and the fact that every other team seemed to get what they had to do, right? Every other team understood I have to move up and get the guy I want to get. If they needed O line, they moved up and got O line. If they wanted a receiver before a certain team got him, they moved up and got that receiver. That's the problem I have with Baltimore's draft. So if I'm going to rank Baltimore's draft, I'm going to give it an F because they didn't do what they were supposed to do. They sat still and let the rest of the NFL do what they're supposed to do. Now, if I'm going to give them a draft grade off of the players they picked, that case, I'd say around a C plus, B minus. I'm gonna go lower than that. I'm gonna go a C minus, and the reason why is because while you picked good players, right? In my mind, you picked good players, but you didn't pick any guys really, that you said from the word go, he's gonna come out and be a starter in this league, or he's gonna come out and be a starter for this team this year. He's gonna help us immediately. Because Wiggins is going to be behind Marlowe, um, Mollett, and Brandon Stevens. So you got three starting corners. You got your three starting corners. So now you got a first round pick in Wiggins, who's either going to fight to be that third corner or be the fourth corner, which is a no go. That's no good. Why'd you waste a first round pick on that? You could have went somewhere else. See, if you get a receiver there, a top receiver there, he's starting. You already know that he's at least going to be the number 3 with Zay and Bateman, right? So that was the problem I had. If you move up a couple spots and you get one of those all pro tackles that was there, right? Or future all pro tackles that was there, then you look at that tackle and you say, okay, he's going to start for me. But even more so, this is yet another draft where in the first round, the Ravens select a player who is either going to be on the bench or needs work. In which Wiggins, I don't think he needs work, but I think he's going to be a backup player to start. And then the second pick they make is the guy that ends up, oh, well, he's probably going to start. And no knock on Roger Rosengarten. I like that pick. I love that pick when they made it, actually. I love that pick. Good tackle. He's a swing tackle. Probably can even play guard because he's athletic enough. He very quick feet, right? Strong. But my thing with him is if you look at a lot of his tape, there's even places you can look at his tape and say, well, he's not guaranteed to start off this tape. He's going to have to battle. And unfortunately, he's not battling anything good. And that's the problem I have. You're talking about Rosengarten, Salah, and Falele. Where's the competition? What is that? I understand wanting to go younger. I understand wanting to be more athletic, wanting to move around. If that's the case, one, they should have never drafted Falele when they drafted him because you knew you wanted to change to a quicker offense, but you picked him the year before thinking he was going to be a future right tackle when he can't move his feet. He can't move. He's like stuck in mud. You can't do that. That was a bad call for me. I would give them a B minus just because I feel like we let a couple of high end guys get away. I wasn't too mad about the tackles because they went early, but once AD Mitchell slipped through, yeah, We should have made a move. You're right. You're right. But it's not just him, right? It's not just AD Mitchell. Look how many guys, look how often we could have had Xavier Worthy. All we had to do is move up 2 spots. And we got Xavier Worthy, right? But they passed on him because they wanted to sit still. And EDC came out and said, I don't trade up. And that's a problem for me. Got Fears in the building. What's good, sir? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm watching the game. I'm live, but I got the TV in front of me. I got the volume down, but I'm watching the game. We down 2 right now, but I'm in there. I'm locked in, Fears. I'm locked in. I promise you. Hey, yo, y'all go check out Fears too on Let's Get Ready Network. Yo, he does a sports show. Phenomenal content. Phenomenal content. Him and Caleb, a Giants fan and a Cowboys fan. Let me tell you, it gets interesting. It gets interesting. Tie game? Okay. So he hit them free throws. See, you a little bit ahead of me. You're a little bit ahead of me. That's all good though. I gotta stream the game. But he hit them free throws. That's what that mean. I like that. Yes. But for me, not just the receiver, right? I think when you're in the process of we're right there. We're ready. We're championship ready. You have to go out and get the pieces that not only that you want, but to go out and get the pieces you need because you feel you're right on the cusp of that championship. Right? The Panthers went and got Leggett. We didn't go get our guys. We sat there and said, we'll take whoever falls to us. And to me, that's why I said I give the draft room an F, but I give the players they drafted a C-. Because again, when you sit there, you're not saying, hey, we got guys we love out there. When you're saying, wow, everybody else loved it. Every other team in the league seemed to love this draft. They were all making moves to go up and get the guys they want. But Baltimore just sat there like, let's just stay here. Again, they gave us that mentality of we like what we got, so whatever we add is a bonus. And that's not true. Absolutely not true. I thought we was going to draft Jordan Morgan, but he went real early. Yeah. Me personally, I wanted a bigger wide receiver, Keon Coleman. He was there. And we passed. Xavier Leggett, Brian Thompson Jr., and yes, all those guys were there. They were close. They didn't the receivers didn't start going until about the 20s. And we just sat there and watched it happen. And that's the thing that upsets me because you can't come in and tell me in your conference after the season, hey, we're all in. We ready to go win this. But then you, all throughout the offseason, you showed me you not all in. You let all your offensive line go without replacing them. You let all your receivers walk. Only brought one back, right? And then you brought in another one. But there, you brought in a special teamer, and you brought back Aguilar. Okay? Your focus has been defense again. And don't get me wrong, I know defense is still part of the game, but your defense didn't win you the championship. Your defense, your defense did a phenomenal job and kept Kansas City at 17 points? And your offense only put up 10 points. That tells me you got to find a way to score. Find a way to score. Which brings me to the next pick, because Ravens took the 3rd round pick and said defense. And not only did they say defense, they went after another Penn State defensive end or edge rusher. Oh. While the kid has a great story, I love the kid's story, right? But a great backstory, and I want to see him do phenomenal because of his backstory. A great backstory does not guarantee NFL talent, and it does not guarantee you a championship. Love the kid's backstory. We're never talk. Adisa Isaac, love the backstory, and I hope all goes great, especially since you're in Baltimore. I hope all goes phenomenal. I hope you end up better than we think. But watching games, I watched some of his games. And I know Coach from Sip to Tally Films, Coach said he thinks Adisa Isaac was better than his counterpart over there at Penn State, who actually went higher than him. But I thought they both were just meh. You know what I mean? Adisa Isaac had good games, but one thing that I noticed about him is that when the O line got their hands on him, like when they got and he didn't have any speed built up, he couldn't break loose. I didn't see that. I didn't see him pulling out spin moves or swim moves. It looked to me he had a bull rush, and he did a great job of bending around the corner, and he did a great job of getting low. So that's what led to a lot of his sacks or pressures and being able to defend the run. But he struggles against the run. If he's blocked, he's useless. But if he's unblocked, he can dart through to the ball. He does a good job keeping his eyes on the ball and making the plays when nobody's there to block him. But as soon as somebody gets their hands on him, he's done. And that to me just reminded me too much of Oweh, to where if somebody got his hands on him, that was it. But Oweh tends to not anymore, but he used to lose the ball a lot. He didn't really keep his eyes on the ball. Adisa Isaac does a phenomenal job at keeping his eyes on the ball and know where the ball is going. To D Weezy's point, Kansas City brought in multiple wide receivers. And that's what they needed, right? Kansas City went into the offseason and said, you know what? Pat Mahomes had a down year, which was sad because I picked him in fantasy. So let me just say that pissed me off. Pat, I'm mad at you. So Pat Mahomes had a rough year. And even in a rough year, a down year for Pat Mahomes, he won the Super Bowl. But they said, we're going to go get you some wide receivers to make sure it doesn't happen again. And not only did they go get him wide receivers, they got him Hollywood Brown, which is speed. And let's not act like Hollywood ain't nasty. That's speed right there. And then they got him Xavier Worthy, the fastest player in combine history. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? The Chiefs are doing it right. We're doing it wrong. But I bring that up because that leads to our fourth round pick, Tez Walker. I like this pick. Real quick, another thing I was salty about was drafting Adisa Isaac, who may be a steal, but I thought we should have went with Troy Franklin. Understandable. Again, I didn't like the Adisa Isaac play either. The pass rushes in this year's draft wasn't that good to me. I agree. It wasn't. Magic take the lead. Let's go. Oh, wait, they tied it back up, he said. He said they tie game. Jesus. Yeah, I just saw it. I just got it. What a 3. 43 for Donovan Mitchell. That boy eating. I think they did draft another receiver later in the draft. I don't remember who. I know for sure I believe they did draft another wide receiver, though. I just don't remember who it was. Bang! Let's go! Suggs understood the assignment. Yes, sir, he did. Yes, sir, he did. Listen. This game lit right now. 3:19 left. Blocked. Blocked. No. No. And one. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Jay, I told you these boys was going to play different this year. Didn't I tell you? Did I tell you? I saw it. The coaching, man. I saw the difference he was making. And we amongst the top in the league in defense. We get into a half-court defense. It's hard to score on us. But again, we just got to other teams are faster than us. Paulo, you got to make that, bro. Other teams are faster than us, so it's hard to kind of measure and keep up with the speed. But good defense. 8-second volley. Let's go. Yeah, a huge difference from the first game of the series. Did you see the blowout wins in games 3 and 4? We won by like 20 plus in both of those games. Or no, I think they cut game 3 to 10 at the end of the game, but we was up by like 30, and then we ended up winning game 4 by 10. I mean by 20. But listen, 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 listen. I've been trying to tell y'all about Franz Wagner too. I've been trying to tell y'all about that man. That man nasty. And Wendell Carter. But anyway, so listen, yeah, Tez Walker. I like that draft pick. I love the pick of Tez Walker. I know he's got so listen. There's things out there about his hands. He's got questionable hands. He had an 8.5% drop rate. That is not that bad, right? He's right behind. I think Keon Coleman had like a 7.79 or 7.72 drop rate. So he's right there with him. Let's go with the putback, Cole. Let's go with the putback. So he's right there. His hands are good enough. And I seen on his tape, if you watch his tape, you'll see he makes a lot of contested catches. He makes a lot of catches in traffic. And that was all on like third down. A lot of it was on third downs. So he was Drake May's safety blanket. Guess what Lamar needs? A safety blanket. Yeah, we got a 6'10 lineup. Yeah, that's true. But in our defense, our 6'10 lineup, dude, we only really have one or two shot blockers on the team. And Jonathan Isaac is one of them. He's one of the shot blockers. He's the shot blocker for the team, to be honest. Wendell Carter, he's more of a offensive center with his size. Same thing with Paulo being an offensive power forward. They play defense. They play great team defense. They play great one-on-one defense. They'll get their hand in your face, but they're not really shot blockers. Like they don't have that timing. But my boy Jonathan Isaac, he'll reject everything. He'll reject everything. If Tez Walker gets a chance to develop, I believe he'll be good. EDC compared him to a Torrey Smith that I can see in his game. Yes, so the reason I think EDC compared him to a Torrey Smith is because he's going to be a deep threat. That's over. He ran a 4.36 and a 40, right? We're going to bring him in for his speed, try to get guys, beat guys over top because his route running is not good. He's not a good route runner. He rounds off his routes. He's really slow developing his routes and getting through. So he's really going to be meant for being a speedster and a deep threat, which works because Zay knows the route tree. Zay can run the route tree. He can make the sharp cut, so we can have him as intermediate if we need to. Same for Bateman. So it'd be good to have a guy to just take the top off, and that's what he'll do. He'll be like our Torrey Smith. Take the top off, maybe draw some pass interference, plays deep, stuff like that. And then, like I said, he was Drake May's third down go-to guy. If you look at a lot of those games, third down, it was Tez Walker coming up big with the catch. So maybe he could develop into something like that. You know what I mean? We get him in there, we coach him up, and maybe I know Baltimore doesn't have a great history developing wide receivers. I know, but let's try to make a change in that now. If we could develop a wide receiver now, he get in there, make them cuts, and you know what I'm saying? It could be what it is. He might end up being that dude. So I like Tez Walker. I like the Tez Walker pick. So after Tez Walker was picked, if I'm not mistaken, we doubled down and we went defense again. I can't be completely upset with the picking of defense because they did, in fact, replace or plan to replace a lot of guys that are going to be gone in the future. And this was the pick where they went and got TJ Tampa, another cornerback. And I get it. People go, well, they're drafted for the future, to replace because Marlowe's contract is going to be up. And he's getting older, Brandon Stevens' contract is up at the end of the year, and if he plays like he did this year or this past year, he's going to get paid. So you got to replace those guys. Well, my problem with that is we had corners that we drafted that was supposed to replace him. You made a mistake thinking KBK was going to get through. Yeah, I said it. KBK. Cutting him was a mistake. But you made a mistake cutting him thinking he was going to make it past waivers so you could bring him back, and he didn't make it past waivers. Well, haha, joke's on you. And then you got two guys who can't seem to get out of the training room, and they're always hurt. So that's your mistake. But when people were saying settling and being satisfied with us picking defensive draft picks for the future, what happened to us picking offensive draft picks for the future? I didn't see you draft a receiver to replace Aguilar next year. I didn't see you draft a receiver to, offensive line to replace Ronnie Stanley because his contract is up at the end of the year. There's a lot of guys. I didn't see you step out there and replace them on the offensive side of the ball. What happened to that? Like, what happened? You're supposed to be replacing these dudes and planning for the future, but you're not. Not on the offensive side of the ball. Maybe on defense, but then on offense, you just kind of saying, who cares? That's just my thoughts. That's just my thoughts towards that. I don't like it. And I think whatever. I think Baltimore Ravens have a lot of the fan base brainwashed. And we'll see it one day. Our eyes will open up and we'll see it. But he's just not. John Harbaugh's not that coach, and this franchise is not good at offense at all. It's despicable. After that, 5th round, we drafted Rasheen Ali, running back. I don't know too much about him. I didn't see too many of his games. But hopefully he'll come in handy. He was a good pick because we do need another running back with Mitchell coming off of late season ACL injury. And then we have Derrick Henry coming in. And really, that's pretty much it. I know we got my boy Justin, but I mean, it's Justin. He fumbles a lot. We can't really trust him. Then the real head scratcher, I think the pick that everybody hates, Devin Leary. Why draft a quarterback? Just get him undrafted. You don't need to draft a quarterback. Get him undrafted. I'm just going to leave it at that. Then in the 7th round, Nick Samak. I hope I'm saying his last name right, but a center. And at first, you look at it and you go, okay, that's a pretty good pick. We need a backup center. But I think he's purely a center, so I don't think he plays guard at all. And he broke his leg on November 18th. They're saying he's going to be ready to play. I don't see it. And then Sanusi came with the last pick of the draft. Safety. It's a good pick. You need a backup safety. You need depth. You need special teams guys. So I understand. J6. This was the draft to get 2 receivers. You saw the 49ers do it, despite the trade rumors of Debo and Ayuk. This is true. And both of those guys Ayuk's been leaked to the Steelers. And the Steelers, our rival of ours, is also looking at getting DK Metcalf, a guy I know a lot of the Ravens wanted to trade for. Well, guess what? The Ravens aren't making those calls, but the Steelers are. The Steelers are trying to get better. And you see it there. My boys we about to hold on, baby. We about to hold on. Dre says, oh, I could be wrong, but the last 3 picks irritated me. I thought we should have went with Brandon Rice, or Brendan Rice. I think his game went well with Lamar's game. A lot of people agree with you, and I do too, because why not bring in another wide receiver? Brendan Rice would have been a good pickup. And the last 3 picks irritated me too. That's why I didn't stay on them all. The last 3 picks of the draft drove me crazy. You got a safety for depth. That's fine. I can get over that. But you get a offensive lineman with a broken leg, and you get a quarterback. Why did you get a quarterback? No reason at all. But I'm gonna let it go because I don't feel like getting angry. Miss Yolanda's in the building. How you doing, Miss Yolanda? For those who don't know, Miss Yolanda has a phenomenal show. Ravens Talk with Yolanda. Great show. Tune in. Please take a second. Go subscribe. You know what I'm saying? Watch the content. I guarantee you'll love it. And you heard her. Let's go Magic. Let's go. We about to close it out. Hold on. I gotta watch these 17. I got Jay. I know you saying game. I got 17 seconds left. I want to see this. I gotta see the 17 seconds. 17 seconds. And we pushing the game 7. We pushing the game 7. Let's go. Let's go. That's game. That's game, Chief. 8.1. 8.1. Game 7. That's right. Game 7. Here we come. That's right. Dre says the unscripted stuff Rice does would have been nice. Lamar works with players like, yes, absolutely. I think they're going to look to, one of the things they're going to do is look to get both tight ends involved on the field at the same time with Likely and Andrews. Don't get me started on Andrews because I got mixed feelings about him. I don't think he's a top 3 tight end. But you know what? I'll give him number 3. He's not top 2 though. He's not Kittles and he's not Kelsey at all. So I'll give him that. He's a top 3, but he's not top 2. He's not on their level. Like he's a tier below. Like he does not come up in clutch moments, and it aggravates the crap out of me. Playoffs, the man's got 4 catches. I'm just like it sucks. Sucks. You see it. You see it. You see it. Game 7. Now, game 7, Orlando, listen. We're not going to get too excited over this victory. Actually, we are. But game 7, we got one more with them. Game 7, we're going to go into their house, and we got to win. We got to win. You understand? We got to win. Let's go. Oh, the missus is in the building. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Cavs still letting down their star players when they score 40 or more points. Something's never change. You're right. Some things never change. You're absolutely right. You think it's something with the aura of the city, like just that town, like Cleveland, playing in Cleveland or something with that. I don't know. Our boys, I feel like our boys just played. We played our best game. Stuff is falling for us. This team plays very well at home, but we struggle on the road. I believe we had a phenomenal home record throughout the season, but we had a losing record on the road, if I'm not mistaken. But the playoffs is the perfect time to fix that. We definitely got to get Likely more involved. He has potential to be a top 10 tight end in the league. Absolutely. Absolutely. Potential is the ultimate killer, though, when talking about any player. But absolutely. Montero and Franz got to be aggressive from the jump. Yes. Yes. And the rest will follow. You're absolutely right. And then, Jay, I don't know. I think I was talking to you in the Discord when I said it. I said it from game 1. When game 1 looked that bad, what did I say to you? I said we got to stop shooting threes, start getting to the basket, and let that open up the 3-point shot. Because what they got to do is the best way for a young team to get their confidence up, get to the basket, get fouled, get the easy layups, dunks, hit your free throws. And when you start seeing that ball go in, the basket gets bigger and bigger and bigger to the point where you just like, yo, this is it. I'm good. I'm dropping everything from here on out. And that's how they got to play. It's the only way to play ball, to me, because that's how they did it old school, and it still works now. You get in the paint, and that'll get you going, and then you follow up from there. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Say y'all have trees in the lineup. You better attack the paint. Yes, yes, we do. Like it's a 6'10" lineup across the board. And don't forget, we got a 6'8" or 6'9" point guard on the bench that we not even using. The young dude we drafted, Anthony Black, he's a 6'8", 6'9" point guard he drives the ball. He's working on his 3-point shot, but he's good at driving the ball. He's a phenomenal defender. I actually want to see more of him in this series because I think we need to lengthen out the rotation a little more, get a few more people off the bench and into the game. And I think he'd help defensively. I think he'd be phenomenal defensively, but whatever. But yeah, he nasty. He's 6'7". I thought he was 6'8". Okay, 6'7". But still, that's a big point guard. You know what I mean? Get him in the game. Use him. Use that size. He's got good speed on him. He's quick. He's quick. He knows how to get in the lane, draw the foul. He'll dunk on people. Get him in there. Get him in there. All right. So that's again NFL draft. The Ravens. Like I said, I'm giving the draft. I'm giving the GM and the those guys an F because I didn't see much effort. There was no effort there. But I'll give the actual picks themselves, a C minus because I don't know how many of those guys are actually going to contribute, and that's problematic for me. You know what I'm saying? That's good. He don't play like Penny. He don't play like Penny. He don't play like Penny, but that's the right size. So next up, I want to talk just real quick. I'm gonna glance over real quick. I don't know if y'all seen it. I don't know who's watching, who's keeping track of what's going on. Penny was absolutely 101. I loved Penny, man. Penny to Tracy. Those are my two, and I love Shaq too. Penny and Shaq was one of the reasons I became an Orlando fan. They are the reason I became an Orlando fan. And then T Mac to set it off. T Mac was that dude, ultimate nasty. So listen, yeah, Penny kicks his fire too. Yeah. So listen, X-Men '97. I don't know if everybody's watched it. If not, spoilers incoming. I in the beginning, I was up and down about this series, right? Because in classic X-Men fashion, each episode bounced around and you never got the full story of what was going on. And you ever hear Tim Duncan's story? No. What Tim Duncan story? I don't know. I might have. I don't know which Tim Duncan story you're talking about. So, um, this episode for me kind of wrapped a lot of things up in a put a nice little bow on it. You know what I mean? I don't want to give too many spoilers for those who haven't seen it yet, so I'm probably not going to stay on this long. But just to talk about the series as a whole, oh man, listen, if that would have happened, bro, if we would have got Tim to go with Grant, now here's the problem I had. Here's the problem I had. T Mac never made it out of the first round because he never had help, right? Even when we got Grant Hill got hurt. Grant Hill was out for T Mac's last 2 years there. His help was hurt. And then he leaves. He goes to Houston. Grant Hill the next year gets healthy and goes off. Played phenomenal. And I was like, only if he stayed. If T Mac stayed, he played with Dwight Howard, I guarantee there would have been a championship in Orlando. I guarantee it would have been a championship in Orlando if he stayed. Oh, my boy Couch Rider Raven in the building. What's good, sir? Listen, for those of you who are not subbed, please go check out Couch Rider Raven, another Ravens YouTuber out here, be doing this thing every Monday night and Wednesday night, right? Please go check my guy out. Great content over there. And he called the pick. He called the Nate Wiggins pick first round. It's who he wanted. I don't agree with it, but it's who he wanted, and they got him. So big ups to making that good call, the call on the pick for that. Yeah, I need to know. I need to know. You got to let me know what happened with that, because that would have been a fierce lineup. Tim Duncan, Grant Hill, Tracy McGrady. That would have been unstoppable. No thanks needed, sir. No thanks needed. But X-Men 97, just to get through what I'm gonna say real quick. To me, the series has been phenomenal. Looking back at it overall, I know some people. I know it's a little more raunchy than the original series was. They're touching a lot of sexual stuff in this go around of the series, but they're doing it without going over the edge, making it for adults. Even though they probably could have been edgier with the series, because a lot of the people who are watching from nostalgia. Us guys who watched from day one with X-Men, right? Um, so they could have done a little bit more, but I absolutely love that they're going the route of following the comic books. And the comic book stories being played out on screen is absolutely phenomenal to me. I love how it's going down. I love everything about it. And with the peak of characters we got to see in this last episode, it was a huge surprise to see some of them on screen. But it was big because it lets you know where they can go from here. We got a few more episodes left in the season. It's looking good. Again, I'm still sad. I lost my boy Gambit. He's gone, you know, but great things are about to happen. It's on Disney Plus. It's on Disney Plus. They release an episode every week. They just had the 7th episode drop, so definitely check it out. You definitely gotta check it out. It's a phenomenal show. I love it. If you still got that inner kid in you and you into them cartoons, you gonna dig it. You're gonna dig it. And this last episode was crazy with Wolverine, Nightcrawler. I mean, just phenomenal. Yeah, yeah. I don't mean to spoil it for you, but yeah, my boy Gambit died. I shed a tear. I shed a tear. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then this last episode, there was a thing or two that happened that gave me some chills. So go check it out. I think it's phenomenal. I know some people have a problem with it, but I think the series is great. I think it's been great. There was an episode or two I was down on in the beginning that's really slow. But if you let it play out, then you got it. It works out in the end. Hey, D Weezy, bro, you gotta watch it, bro. It hurt my heart, bro. I'm a Gambit fan, bro. It hurt my heart. I was in tears, bro. I shed a tear. I'm not lying, bro. I shed a tear. Legit shed a tear. So let me see. Hold on. Fears put this in here for me. Tim asked if he can bring his family on the team plane on some road trips, and Doc Rivers said no. He said the team plane is for the team. Wow. So I'm gonna say this off of what Fears just said. Doc Rivers cost the Orlando Magic like 3 championships, bro. Tax it to his head. Doc Rivers cost the Orlando Magic like 3 championships. Minimum. Minimum. That's crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, y'all gotta check X-Men 97 out. I'm not gonna talk too much more about it because I don't wanna like I said, I don't wanna do any I don't wanna spoil anything. I'm sure me and Suge will probably get together, a couple other people, and we'll do a little show, probably at the end of the season, to sum up what we saw and what we thought on the whole season. Once we know everybody's watched it. And then KG asked the same thing in Boston, and Doc said, "Hell yeah, no repeat." yeah, yeah, he corrected that real quick. He's like, "Damn, that cost me a star last time. I can't do it again. I can't do it again." So listen, the final topic I got for y'all tonight, and we all know what's going on. We ain't blind to it. We see what's happening. There's a little bit of hip hop in all of us, right? We all love hip hop. And Fears, I'm glad you were here so I can get your opinion on this. Kendrick versus Drake. Kendrick versus Drake. Now, I'm sure most of y'all, if not all of y'all, heard Euphoria. If you haven't, Best diss track of the year to me, only because he rebutted everything Drake said and then some. Okay, when you drop a diss and then somebody rebuttals everything you say and then some, and it includes actual bars in it where you got to break stuff down, I feel like it was phenomenal, man. I absolutely loved it. I'm gonna give round one to Kendrick. Um, don't get me wrong, I'm not so I'm even when it comes to this, right? I'm not a huge fan of either. So I'm not weighing my opinion isn't swaying in one way. Because when Drake originally dropped his diss after like that, and he dropped push-ups, I thought push-ups was fire. Right? Push-ups was fire. But the bars were simple. It wasn't really complex, but it got to the point. So I liked push-ups. The beat was hard. And push-ups beat go harder than Euphoria. Okay. Kendrick drops Euphoria. Now, Drake also dropped Taylor Made, and Drake had the AI voices on the Tupac AI and Snoop AI or whatever to battle against him. That was corny to me. That was real corny to me. And then Kendrick not only drops Euphoria, he comes back out. I don't know if anybody's heard it. 616 in LA. Nasty. I like it. I love it. Go. You got to listen closely. You got to play it back a few times. I think Kendrick did his thing. And I truly believe Kendrick has won round one. If anybody in Drake's camp, which if you listen to 616 in LA, you can't trust your camp, Drake, because they are selling you out. They're giving all your info to Kendrick. They calling Kendrick like, yo, Kendrick, bury this man. We don't even like him. Bury him. If that's the case, bro, you gotta find somebody that you can trust so that they can tell you to bow out. I see why J. Cole apologized and was like, I'm gonna get up out of here. Because he knows that Kendrick is a demon. Kendrick is a demon on the mic. And you listen, he wearing the crown right now. He wearing the crown right now. My boy Couch said, what do you think of Tez Walker? I like the Tez Walker pick. I have so Tez is gonna be used for one thing and one thing only. Streaks. That's it. He's fast. Ran a 4.36 in the 40. He had an 8.5% drop rate. Okay, it's not terrible, but it is a kind of high drop rate for what you're used to of your top receivers. And he's not a great route runner. His routes are pretty bad. So when you got that bad route running mixed with an 8.5% drop rate, you kind of want to just run out there, see if you could draw flags like Torrey Smith. Use your speed to run out there, see if you could draw flags. Because Torrey wasn't the greatest route runner when he came out either, but he had speed, so he was the guy to take the top off, and that's what I think Tez is going to do. I think Tez is going to be the guy to take the top off the defense, right? He's going to use that speed. He's going to go crazy. But if you also go back, and I was saying this earlier, Tez Walker was Drake May's third down savior. Whenever Drake May was in trouble on third down, even if he was covered, Tez made a jump ball catch. He made the contested catches. He made the catches in traffic. He looked at that point like his hands were inflappable. A lot of his drops, if you go back and watch his tape, was early in the season. And then as the season progressed, his hands got stronger and stronger and stronger. So he seems like one of those guys that has to warm up to the game. But when he does, he's going to be a problem. If he can get somebody to help him with his route running, with the speed he has, and you pair him with Zay, who already is a great route runner, and you pair him with Bateman, who's a phenomenal route runner, that's three guys with speed and route running ability if we could develop Tez somehow. If the Ravens could find a way to finally develop a receiver, if Tez could get better, that's three guys with route running. That's going to be dangerous. I mean, right now, Tez is a good pick just off the simple fact of if he comes in as a receiver 3 or 4, he could get you, say, 25, 30 catches, get you 500 or so yards. That's a win. That's a win. When you got a guy that's only going to be a deep threat, he's not your number 1 or 2, give me 30 catches, 25, 30 catches, maybe less. and give me about 500 yards. That's what I think Tez is. Unless he can develop, that's what I think Tez is, and that's what his ceiling is going to be. But if he can develop, like I said, the word potential is the number one killer in any sport for any player. But he has phenomenal potential to be a very good talent at wide receiver, right? He's got the skills to be a starter, especially since he could just run by defenders. So he's got that skill, but the upside is it weighs on what his development is going to be. But Kendrick Drake. I'm saying it now. I'm giving round one to Kendrick. When Kendrick said it's not 20v1, it's 1v20. If I gotta smack you and all the dudes that right with you, oh my goodness. I dropped everything. I was nope, that's it. That's it. You know Drake got all the Ghost Riders in the world. That was it for me. And then when he went off and he said right after that, he said, I forgot the dude name, the actor from Artificial Intelligence. He also acted in The Sixth Sense. Oh my goodness. He's like, am I battling ghosts or AI? Oh my goodness. And he said, oh my goodness. Kendrick, if you ain't heard the track, please go listen to Kendrick is nasty. Kendrick is nasty, y'all. Kendrick is nasty. For those who's keeping track, so that's all I really gotta say about that. Haley Joel Osteen, yes. Haley Joel Osteen, yep. That's the name right there. My boy Kendrick Fierce. Kendrick went off, bro. Kendrick cooking Drake right now. I don't want to hear no more short or little feet bar. Yep. Drake got to come with something better. I agree. But again, I don't know if he can. I don't know if he can based off the fact that Kendrick now has dropped 2 tracks, and both tracks seem like warning shots to me. Basically saying like I'm taking it light on you right now. And I got so much info on you, it's gonna be crazy. So do me a favor, bow down, make sure you don't touch my crown again, and leave it at where it's at. This way, ain't nobody feelings gotta get hurt, ain't nobody friends or family gotta get hurt. So, and he even touched on how he's a better father than Drake. That's I don't know it personally, just saying what he said, what the perception is. All right, Coach, man, thank you for stopping through. I appreciate you. Like I said, y'all go check out his channel. Make sure you tune in and subscribe. Have a good night, brother. He on IG right now with his memes, but maybe that's all he has right now. Listen, that's all. When Drake dropped, when Kendrick dropped Euphoria, that's what Drake replied with was an IG post. He ain't got nothing for Kendrick. If he gonna find something for Kendrick, it's gonna take him a couple days, and he gotta find somebody to write for him. Because he's got to seem like a G. I mean, he could write it. He could try writing it himself, but I don't know how it's gonna come out unless he get up there and sing on the track. But right now, it's looking bad. It's looking real bad. Kendrick did him in the worst way, and it's scary because not only did he do him in the worst way, he didn't go overly lyrical on him like he could have, and he didn't drop he probably didn't even drop a tenth of the dirt he got. You know what I'm saying? And if it's true that Drake tried to get a cease and desist on Like That record, bro, he's done for. If it comes out that Drake tried to get a cease and desist on that track, it's over. Because that track was top of the charts. It was top of the charts. And then Taylor Swift came out with her album, and the Like That record dropped a little bit, but then went right back up to number 1. You can't, ain't nothing you can do with that. That track was too nasty. You can't drop a cease and desist on that. That's crazy to me. That's crazy. Hey, for those of you here, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. We've been on here for just over an hour. Um, the Clippers and Mavs are playing. It's a big game for them, just like it was for Orlando. I'm gonna say this. Thank you for tuning in, whether you was here live or you watching on the replay. It's been another phenomenal show. There will be no 2-hour stream, Miss Yolanda. No 2-hour stream. I'm actually starting to lose my voice from yelling at the Orlando game. But thank all y'all for coming through. Y'all know where y'all can find me. Right here, Big Reg, BBT. I threw the BBT on there for, you know what I'm saying? Big Boy Talk. Thank you, Dre. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Etsy.com/living big with Big Reg. If you want to get you some merch, okay? I got all sorts of merch. Clothes, that's my clothing line. Check it out. Get you a shirt, get you a hoodie. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to build the inventory. I got more designs coming up soon. I ain't been on my job with making stuff. I ain't even gonna hold you, but I gotta get back on it. But check it out, Etsy.com/living big with Big Reg. Please go check that out. TikTok, that's gonna be going away soon, but you can find me there, Living Big with Big Reg. Same thing on X. Yeah, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. I love y'all. We fam. Stay blessed. Peace.